even just talking about it will make me emotional right now.
Which I don't think you've ever even seen this.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
35th birthday.
Jesus. Do I look 35? Oh my God.
Get it. We get it.
Welcome to Backseat Directing,
where we talk about movies, TV shows, comics, and more.
We post episodes every Monday and Thursday. I was hoping you would pick up the next line. Welcome to Backseat Directing,
where we talk about movies, TV shows, comics, and more.
We're your hosts,
Andrew
and Aaron.
And we post new episodes every Monday and Thursday.
Today's episode, we're going over our top 5 favorite Disney and Pixar movies. You got 3, 2, 1.
Action.
It's a work in progress. We'll figure it out eventually. All right, Andrew, let's just go right into it. What's your top 5 Disney Pixar movies? So it's not Pixar and Disney. It could be either or. What do you got?
So I have an elite top 5 list.
Okay.
My top 5 Disney Pixar movies are: in the fifth place, Wreck-It Ralph. In 4th place, Big Hero 6.
Ooh.
In 3rd place, Treasure Planet.
Oh,
in 2nd place, Meet the Robinsons.
Okay.
And in 1st place, the number 1 spot, it's got to be Tarzan.
Oh. That's a good list. That's a good list.
All right, Aaron, what are your top 5 Disney Pixar movies, top 5 all time?
You went in order, right?
Yeah, I did from 5 to 1. So you got to tell us, like, right, if Lion King's not on there, you're saying every movie on this list is better than Lion King.
Okay, yeah, I know. I didn't have them in order, so give me 1 second here.
All right, while he works on that, let's just fill the time looking at my list a little bit here. My reasoning for my list, at least. I picked movies that are like really big for me through my childhood. Movies that narrowly missed my list would be things like Toy Story, number 1 and number 3.
What happened to number 2?
Oh yeah, nah.
You don't like number 2?
Number 2, well, number 2 is good.
Oh my gosh, what a crazy thing.
Number 2 is good, but for me it falls behind those other 2 ones.
Okay, I have my list.
All right, give us 5 to 1.
I don't care about your list anymore, because my list is even more superior than yours. I put them in order. I had my 5, but now they're in order. I have Tarzan at 5. I have Dinosaur at 4.
Okay, what's the 3 spot?
3, we have Incredibles. How is that not on your list? Toy Story 2 in 2nd. You son of a gun.
Who do you have as the best Disney Pixar movie of all time?
Zootopia.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
I should have known that.
That one's so good. Yeah. If I could go back and rewatch pretty much any movie for the first time, this is like one of the first movies that come to mind. Yeah,
so the movies that narrowly like missed my list would be like Toy Story 1, Onward, and there's another one that was on your list. That Incredibles, yeah. Those 3 would be the ones that most narrowly missed my top 5. Incredibles is such a good movie with so many iconic lines.
Another one that just missed my list is the original Mulan. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, the original Mulan is really good, and like that song "Make a Man Out of You" is just like that's a hype mix right there. That's like pre-workout.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Andrew. Let's dive into your list a little bit. What's your reasonings for each of these?
So, like, suspiciously, I noticed that a lot of my movies are about people who like don't have parents, but it's also
fair.
So, I grew up with a single mom, so that I might have an influence of some of these, but I think that's a theme throughout like Disney movies. I don't know if you've heard this, but I think Walt Disney, I believe the story is that his mother passed away. And so a theme throughout Disney projects is like character not having a mother, or like an evil stepmother, obviously, like or they don't have a father sometimes, but like Belle doesn't have a mother in Beauty and the Beast. Let's see, like Andy from Toy Story is a single parent household, and you'll see this like theme throughout, like the evil stepmother in Cinderella. So like
Tarzan doesn't have parents.
Yeah, it's like a recurrent theme, which is cool because like, you know, a lot of people don't have the nuclear family. So
Right.
like it's cool to see that representation in the movies and for like kids to feel like that acceptance. So what I really like, I'll start at the bottom of my list. We can both talk about our 5. How's
Yep.
that sound? So what I really like about Wreck-It Ralph is like they have this trend of like giving life to inanimate objects and seeing what their world is like. So like Toy Story is toys, Inside Out is emotions, and Wreck-It Ralph is video game characters. And they create such like a beautiful video game world. And I think it's what I love about my movies is like they make me laugh and make me cry. So like the end of Wreck-It Ralph, I absolutely cried when he's flying through the air towards the volcano of the Mentos, that's what they're called. And like he's flying towards Diet Cola Mountain and he's giving the speech, the mantra from their Villains Anonymous meeting. Like, oh my God, because like the bond between him and Vanellope von Schweetz is just so good. The voice acting in that movie is so good.
You're a bad guy. Doesn't mean you're a bad
Just
guy.
Zangief. Oh, that's not Zangief. That's the like devil character. I think that's
Satan.
Yeah. Satine.
Satine.
You gotta say it correctly now. But oh my gosh, that movie just holds a special place in my heart. The way that like she makes him the little medal and like he holds onto it. Him gripping that as he's falling through the air like makes my eyes water up every time. But what's so special?
Very creative movie too.
Incredibly, and plus like
how they're inside the video game, you know, and they're going through their different controls and stuff, and how Ralph is over to the side, kind of separated from everyone, kind of the outcast,
living on the dump with the bricks.
Right. Yeah. So
great voice acting too, because Jane Lynch voices in that movie. The guy from 30 Rock does a voice in that movie.
Yep.
Like
and how they have like
characters.
the train going through the chords and stuff to meet at the central station. You
oh my
know?
gosh,
like,
yeah, so
it's so cool. Just how they come up with all these creative ideas. Like Pixar and Disney has like endless ideas. It seems. You know, like how do they keep topping their movies? You know,
they really do, and like. They like Soul is something completely new and different as well.
Yep.
But Wreck-It Ralph, I also really like Sarah Silverman. I think she steals the show in this movie. She's hilarious as Vanellope von Schweetz. So like sweet and innocent, but also like that little rascal attitude. And then John C. Reilly is hilarious as Ralph as well. Like it doesn't work without him because he's the main character.
Yeah. What else you got?
So wait, let's hear about your 5. What's your 5?
Did you go over all your 5? Is Wreck-It Ralph your top?
No, I meant like my number 5 to your number 5.
Oh,
that way we go back and forth.
Gotcha. My number 5 is your number 1, Tarzan. So I like this one because I mean I grew up with it, right? So it holds that nostalgia aspect to it, but it's just a lot of fun seeing him move around. I saw that how like strong he was, and it made me want to be strong, you know, and all that stuff. And I think that had a big influence on my life later, even if it wasn't like directly correlated. But now I work out all the time. I had long hair for a while, you know, so I was Tarzan.
He used to walk around in public in nothing but like just that little Speedo. He just wanted to be Tarzan so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll talk about Tarzan more when I get to my number 1 spot.
The art is great. Well, let's just finish it. I mean, let's talk about it now. We're already.
That's my number 1.
You told me to go over my 5. I thought we were going over your whole list. That would have segued right into my list. It would have been the perfect segue.
Not my fault that you put your list in a bad order.
I did not put it in a bad order.
Tarzan belongs at the number 1 spot. I mean, the Phil Collins soundtrack alone, nothing in Disney Pixar tops that.
See, that was something I was just about to bring up, so you might as well just finish talking about it right now.
Son of Man is, and Son of Man alone is like better than any other song in Disney Pixar catalog, in my opinion. Follow that up with like You'll Be in My Heart. Oh my goodness, like even when the monkeys are just beating on the cups and stuff in the camp, is like
so cool.
It's such a good song.
The ending was awesome too, like
Strangers Like Me as well.
Yeah, where he's like diving off of the ship and stuff. Like it was just very action packed. It was good pacing. That
transition when he jumps into the water, you know, when he does a spin through the air and he's young and he dives in the water and he ages him up. Like, God, there's so many great moments in that movie.
Yeah, it's really good. The art's awesome.
Clayton's a really good villain. And then there's like the themes of that movie are like love and family. Love crosses all boundaries between species. The themes of like acceptance, because Kerchak does not want to accept a human, and then like the themes of like finding out who you are, because he has to deal with feeling like an outcast because he feels like he doesn't belong, and he learns to accept himself, learns to embrace his place with his people, and then he learns, you know, that there's strangers like him. So like we all find our own people in the end. You know, he finds two whole communities of people with the apes and with humans. And like the themes of that movie are just so fantastic to me and touching. That's why the true reason I have it number one is that like the themes of family, like Kala is his mother, you know, even if she didn't give birth to him, like that is what being a parent is she loves him more than anything, and she puts him first. She takes care of him and raises him. And like, even just talking about it will make me emotional right now. But I think that movie is just like a truly beautiful thing. Jane is a great character as well. I love her voice work.
All of the characters are great. Yeah.
Her dad too is super funny, but Jane just has like a really soothing voice to listen to as well. Clayton makes a great villain. Kerchak, like coming to accept Tarzan, is such a great arc throughout the story. Mm-hmm. And then like how much his friends love him. Like Turk is so great. It's the relationships throughout that movie are so good. The 2D animation is so classic. That paint style. I don't care for any of the sequels, but the first Tarzan just holds a special place.
Yeah, definitely. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Big Hero 6.
Okay, that's a great one.
Yeah, I think everybody... Is it in your top 5?
It is not.
I think everybody loves Big Hero 6, and a thing I always talk about when I talk about Big Hero 6 is that it came out really close to Frozen, and so it has like an issue of being overshadowed. But the soundtrack is so... What is that band?
For Big Hero 6?
Yeah.
I'll look up.
So they have an incredible soundtrack. With the Fall Out Boy songs, and Fall Out Boy kind of changing their sound a little bit here, so it's like really unique and kind of new and fresh. Big Hero 6 also has my guy Tadashi. I love him, and it's such a tragedy that we lose him. He is the absolute man, one of the best characters in Disney history with such a small screen time.
Spoilers.
You have to have seen Big Hero 6 by now.
Hopefully.
But now that Aaron said spoilers, specifically what I mean by losing him is that Tadashi passes away in the beginning of the film, which is really, you know, strikes the match for the rest of the movie's events. So It's necessary for the plot. It's an emotionally felt loss. And like Hiro, the main character, goes on to like have such good relationships with Tadashi's friends, like Wasabi and Gogo, and like every one of those characters has a completely unique identity, and the characters are just infused with so much life, plus all the life and energy and personality they put into this robot Baymax that you fall in love with over the course of the film and then cry at the end of the film. Like it's just a good movie. Again, the themes of loss and grief and, you know, recovery from losing his brother, and you know they already don't have their parents, so Hiro's been through a lot, and he finds love across boundaries again, you know, he loves Baymax, an artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. And Baymax sacrifices his life for Hiro, you know, so the
movie is also very like low-key hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The parts with Wasabi when he's driving are so funny when they're running away from the villain, and then is it Gogo, I think that is her name, that she like is like, get out of the way, and pushes him to the side, starts driving like a maniac. He's like stopping at a red light when they're being chased by a killer.
Yeah, or at one part where he's running, he's like, I am not fast. I'm dying.
I am not fast.
So funny. Whenever like I'm going slow or something in life or wherever, my wife and I will look at each other and we'll just say, I am not fast. It's so funny. My 4th favorite is Dinosaur, which I don't think you've ever even seen this.
Never seen it.
Yeah. So this came out in 2000, so it's getting up there now, you know.
Just like you.
Shush. Come on now.
Aaron's birthday was the other day.
Yes.
He's a grandpa now, so
21.
21 years young. If you want to comment and wish him a happy 35th birthday.
Jesus. Do I look 35? Oh my god. That's 9 years older than I am.
If anybody believed that, then let us know in the comments to hurt his feelings. Or no, you should comment and say, "No, Aaron, you don't look a day over 23."
Thank you. But yeah, this one kind of following the same themes. An orphan dinosaur was raised by lemurs, and then a meteor came, hit the world, destroyed their home. So they have to go and find a new source of water and a new place to live. And they come across another, like, I guess, pride of dinosaurs that are, most of them are the same species of dinosaur that the main character is. And then the main character's name is Aldar. And yeah,
interesting.
So, what?
Interesting. The main character of the good dinosaur's name is Arlo.
Ooh. Interesting. But yeah, he a lot of them are the same species as him, so he's kind of getting introduced to all these other dinosaurs that he's never really interacted with, and they're kind of pushing him to the side, kind of making fun of him. You know, he's got his lemur family on his back and stuff and all that. And the two, like, leading dinosaurs of this pride are, like, the alpha males. They're really tough, and they definitely don't accept any, like, slow, old, or sick dinosaurs. They're like, the pride just has to keep moving. We have to find the water. We have to keep going. You know, like, the weak have to defend for themselves. And Aldar is, like, the complete opposite. He's like, family first. Like, we can all get there if we just help each other. And then in the end of the movie, he gets them all to help each other kind of get over the last hurdle of the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but they all kind of work together to kind of get to their end location that they were trying to get to.
Sounds like a good main character.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I just rewatched it like probably 2 years ago with my younger sisters. But just the CGI in this movie is really good. I think it kind of holds up very similar to like Jurassic Park or something.
Yeah.
You know, it came out a long time ago, but rewatching it still looked great. You know, like maybe it's because I'm nostalgic to it and I love that movie as a kid and watched it all the time, but I think it really holds up, and it has an awesome poster. Like, look up dinosaur on IMDb, and it should be the first poster that come up. You're looking at Aldar's eye, and in the reflection of his eye, you see the other dinosaurs, which is very cool.
That's a really good poster.
Yeah, very dynamic, very unique, and he's looking up at the taller dinosaurs and stuff. Like, that's a cool poster, and an even cooler movie.
So I want to take this moment as a break in our episode to thank everybody for listening. I appreciate you guys taking the time to check out our episodes very much. If you can, we would like to ask you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It would mean a lot to us. It helps us grow, and we are trying to grow the show. But Aaron, where and when can they listen to the show?
Oh, we post these things on just random schedule. You know, like, we barely even post. You know? No, man, we're out here grinding. We're posting every Monday and Thursday. We have a new episode coming out. We do all different types of episodes. You know, we're covering a lot of superhero content. We just had an episode on Avatar: The Last Airbender that's doing pretty good. A lot of listeners, a lot of engagement in the comments. If you guys comment on our videos, we respond. We talk back with you guys. If you disagree with something that we're saying, you know, like, we want to hear your points, and we'll jump in the comments with you and kind of talk back and forth, you know.
Yeah.
So
for this episode specifically, comment your top 5 or top 3, or just go ahead and comment and disagree with us and let us know what you like or dislike about our lists.
yeah, there's like a ton of good movies out there that are not on either of our top 5, you know.
It's hard to narrow down to just 5 when there's like 100 Disney Pixar projects, and so many of them are absolute bangers.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'd love to have Luca and Onward on my list and the other ones I mentioned, but
yeah, there's so many. Man.
There's only 5 spots on it. So moving on to my third.
I have a question. Have any of these movies come out like as you were like 15 and older, or are they all like younger movies that you like grew up with? Maybe Big Hero 6 is your newest one?
I have Wreck-It Ralph pulled up here. I can see the date. Wreck-It Ralph's 2012 and Big Hero 6
so that was
came out after that.
10 years ago, so like 16.
Big Hero 6 came out, I think, when I was maybe like a freshman in high school.
Okay.
So like 14, 15.
Yeah. All of these, besides my first pick, Zootopia, are movies that I like grew up on.
Yeah,
So,
it's hard to beat that, right?
Yeah.
Like a movie coming out now, like I said, Onward and Luca are incredible movies.
right.
But like
you have more of a connection to these other movies.
yeah, at those ages, like that's the music we fall in love with. That's the movies we fall in love with. And like you said about nostalgia is you can't change that. You know, you can't,
exactly.
It's hold a special place in your heart.
In a big way that I rank things like movies and what are my top this or that is like the experience of actually watching them. Like, what does it remind me of? What does it remind me of within my life? Who was I watching it with? Stuff like that goes into a big part of like which movies are my favorite. You know? All right, your third.
My third pick is kind of goes along with what we are just saying, is definitely a nostalgia pick, is Treasure Planet. And speaking of good posters, search Treasure Planet right now and tell me that's not the most beautiful thing you've ever laid your eyes on. Treasure Planet's based on a book called Treasure Island, which
Let's go.
Which Treasure Island is this classic book, and they adapted it to a movie to involve space travel. And it was such a good choice to do that because the beautiful way that they use the colors of the sky and space, purples and blues and golds. Oh my God, it's like one of the best looking movies in all of Disney Pixar. And you know, this movie came out like what, a decade?
2002.
2002, so 2 decades ago. So like, and still to hold that spot for me today is like possibly the best looking just for their use of color alone. Plus the voice of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I'm like a huge fan of and I think he needs to be in way more things than he is. I think that this movie also about the relationship between him and his male role model is like has a big influence like on how I feel about the movie. Like the way that they play the song "I'm Still Here." I have that song on every playlist I've ever made. You know, my Apple playlist, my Spotify playlist. It's that song "I'm Still Here" is so good. And like Jim is just such a good main character. Like his like perseverance and the way that he like forms relationships and makes this villainous character change because he's so pure, like, and he's also just like the spirit of adventure is what I see in Jim. I think that this story is super emotional and I love this movie. When's the last time you've seen Treasure Planet?
Probably 5 years or so. So it's been a while.
Gotta give it a rewatch. I'll watch it with you.
You know, I have poor memory of the actual stories and stuff. So I would definitely have to rewatch it to kind of get a sense of the story again. But I definitely enjoy that movie a lot. It's up there for sure. Moving on to my third spot, I have The Incredibles. This came out in 2004. And for those that have listened to the podcast before or know me personally, that I wasn't introduced to a lot of superheroes growing up. My parents weren't that big into it, and really what got us into superheroes was the MCU, and the MCU wasn't around back then. So this was kind of like my main introduction to superheroes. I've known of other superheroes, of course, but like I definitely this was the most watched superhero movie that I saw as a kid, you know? So it's a great story. I love how, yes, they have superpowers and stuff, and some parts are over the top, but then a lot of it is like sneaking around and like being a spy, you know, and like trying to break into the center and all that stuff. Like, I love movies where they're just kind of sneaking around and all that. So it was a great movie.
I could go on and talk about Incredibles alone with you for like
I know.
An hour.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it short. Like, there's a lot more
so
things I want to say and stuff. But
fly home, buddy.
Yeah.
I work alone. Like, just Syndrome, like, such a good villain from, like, the childhood to adulthood. You got me. Oh, my God.
Dog.
Where's my super suit? So quotable. The action is so good. And then,
good.
Guess what they have in that movie? A training montage. I love that scene with Mr. Incredible. But I'll move on, and we'll cover these movies individually at some point. I'm sure all of them, because the top 10 are important to us. The top 5 for each. I'm adding them together. But my next one on my list, my number 2 spot goes to Meet the Robinsons. Again, this movie's about family. It's like Vin Diesel. It's all about family. All these movies for me are really about family, because that is something that's always been important in my life. Like, growing up, I had a very close family. My mother, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, cousins, like, we're all very close knit. And Meet the Robinsons is about like not having a family and finding a family. And like, I think that's something that's so important to a young kid, is like that unit, that structure, whether it's traditional, non-traditional, whatever you have, your people around you, if they're your friends and they're not blood related, your family and they're not blood related, like that's what this movie is about. It's about like just family, just love. And that's all that makes a family. And these people, these characters are so funny together. The whole family of the Robinsons, like, from you get to the front door of their house and it's already hilarious because the two warring guys trying to get you to ring their doorbell. And I think time travel is always an interesting concept, but I think this movie does it in a really great way. Cornelius is such a great main character. And just the goofiness of this movie, like they revel in the goofiness, like the frogs singing and like the frog mafia, like bake them cookies, Lucille, like all of it. It's just pure enjoyment, silliness, and fun. I love this movie. And, you know, it's another one that I could cry during this movie and laugh.
Good choice. Good choice. My second pick is Toy Story 2. I don't even know how this isn't even in your consideration of being a good Pixar Disney movie.
It's good. No, it's not my top one.
I know, but you mentioned Toy Story 1 and then skipped to 3.
I'm shocked that you put 2 above 1 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
These movies all have such iconic music, though. Like, I associate You've Got a Friend in Me with Toy Story so strongly.
Right.
And then, like, even going back to Meet the Robinsons, there's a song in that by, I think, Rob Thomas called Little Wonders. Mm-hmm. And, like, I literally listen to that song, like, to find, like, a calm. Like, I listen to that in, like, difficult moments in my life because it's such a beautiful song from the end of that movie. And, like, you associate songs with every one of these movies, right? And, like, it affects how we think about the movies, and like then those songs play a role into our real life the same way the movies do.
Yeah, Toy Story 2 is my favorite, I think, because we've already been introduced to all the characters, and then I think it's the one that I watched the most as a kid too.
Oh yeah, see, you're always saying that you don't like origins, you don't like introductions, you want the characters to be established. Yeah, that's my thing.
I like that.
Now you always tell me that I have difficulty with flashbacks. That's going to be my thing for you, is that you hate origins.
Okay, fair enough.
But Toy Story 2 is there's no misses in Toy Story. I'm not the biggest fan of the fourth one, but the first 3 are like
great,
incredible movies.
Yes, for sure. All right, let's move to my top one because we already touched on your top one.
My top one was Tarzan. Yeah.
Yep. Zootopia. Again, I've said it once already in this podcast. If I could watch a movie for the first time again, I'd pick that one. I don't know if it's necessarily because of the movie or just because of watching it with my wife. What we did was we turned on a movie. It was like a little date night. We got some food. We're eating on the floor in our living room. And
in the new house?
No, this was a while ago. This was at our apartment in Gainesville. And we were like, yeah, let's just put on a movie, and then we'll just like kind of hang out and talk to each other and stuff. We didn't say a single word to each other. We were like hooked on the movie, and at like every twist and turn of the movie, we were like, oh my gosh, that, like we were really enjoying the different aspects that were coming at us. The characters are great.
Yeah, that movie has good twists and incredible voice actors as well.
Yes, that was my next point.
Jason Bateman, J.K. Simmons.
I really like Jason Bateman.
As Mayor Lionheart.
Yep. And then as you were talking about off air, there's a lot of like parallels to real world things in this movie as well, which is always fun when they bring in adult themes into kid movies. It makes it easier for adults to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the themes of kind of corruption, maybe in politics, and then the themes of acceptance and like the themes of community, because like obviously the different biomes and environments are for different metaphors for different cultures and communities in our physical world, and then the different species of animals are metaphors for maybe different people from different backgrounds, whether it's ethnically, culturally, racially, religiously. And there are real world issues where these people might get a bad name or that they might be prejudiced against, and for a movie, ideally a children's animated movie to touch on this is very impressive, and the way that they approach it is very mature.
Yeah, for sure. You told me that you had a question for me at the end of this.
Yes.
What do you got?
So this can be anyone from outside your list or on your list, but I want to know who's your favorite character from any Disney Pixar movie.
Oh my gosh, how am I supposed to pick something?
I love putting you on the spot.
I don't like picking favorites.
He starts just scrolling immediately. You should see his mouse right now. If
my mouse is like dead.
Oh no!
I need to use my little touchpad here. Oh my gosh. Dude, there's so many characters.
Because I wanted you to pick a favorite main character and then a favorite, because a lot of the characters will have like a side pet, like the chameleon in Tangled.
Yeah.
So I can tell you my favorite, side animal character, my favorite pet.
Favorite character, Buzz Lightyear.
Really?
Yep.
Set on that? Solid? Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear?
Yep.
Okay. Or Chris Evans' Buzz Lightyear?
Haven't seen that one yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it either. So my favorite character, and this is really, really tough because I didn't think of my answer either beforehand, but I think that what I'll probably go with for my favorite character is it wrong to pick Tadashi? I really love Tadashi.
No, it's not wrong. You can have whoever you want as your favorite.
I'm going to go with Tadashi.
All right.
He's so great.
And then you said side pets?
My favorite pet from Disney Pixar is Morph from Treasure Planet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Morph is so cool. Plus he's just visually cool, the things he can do.
I'm trying to look here. The one that popped to my mind is not from Disney or Pixar, so I'm not going to say that one.
You know who'd be also a really good favorite character is the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Robin Williams' performance plus the character being so funny and dynamic.
What are some of the other pets?
So like I said, the chameleon from Tangled. You've got
the cockroach from WALL-E.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good one. You've got the side characters from Up, like Doug,
and the bird.
Let's see. So you've got the side characters kind of in The Lion King. I guess you could say Timon and Pumbaa. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're not
pets. What's the guy's name from Princess and the Frog? The dragonfly or lightning bug.
What about the dragon from Mulan?
That's a good one.
What's his name?
Shu? No?
Let me look.
Mushu.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's mine.
That's a good pick.
Some honorable mentions real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off. Cars, Bug's Life. Those are two movies that I watched.
Aaron's just reading the Wikipedia list of all Disney Pixar movies.
Whatever.
Name them all as honorable mentions.
Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., Ratatouille, Up, WALL-E, Inside Out.
Okay.
Why haven't we mentioned Inside Out?
We get it. They're all good. No, Inside Out would actually be one of my honorable mentions. I already named my honorable mentions though, but did you have any other ones?
No, you didn't want to hear all of that, so that's it.
Well, thank you guys for listening.
Again, we post every Monday and Thursday. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for an hour sometimes for these episodes. We appreciate it. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're on the Spotify and Apple Podcast apps as well. Andrew?
Yeah, well, I'm about to bolt out of here like a bolt of lightning out of Aaron's house. So let us know what you guys want to see for future topics because we don't have time to discuss it this week. So comment and let us know what we should do for next week's recording. We'd really appreciate that.
And that's a wrap.